I'm Chris Daniels for Spotlight on America. By some estimates, the United States has had 57 times as many school shootings as other major nations combined over a 9-year period. It's led to renewed debate about how to keep kids safe. Some districts have added a school resource officer, but our national investigation shows there is a worsening shortage of them, leaving gaps in safety. School resource officer Micah Rose greets students in class and on the playground. He's now in his 7th year in this Washington State elementary school.
When kids feel safe in the school, their focus can be on learning.
Rose says building relationships like this can save lives, even with time stretched among thousands of students. How many schools are you bouncing between?
So I have 8 schools total.
Yet staffing does not exist to fill every school that wants an SRO. States like Kentucky, Indiana, Minnesota, and Tennessee have struggled to fill the positions, and nearly a fifth of SROs are assigned to 5 or more schools like Micah.
Do you think it helps you also avoid emergencies or react to an emergency?
Absolutely. The value of having someone who has that knowledge and understanding of that school is a huge benefit in being able to respond if there is some type of emergency, an incident that does take place.
It is why 1,500 miles away in rural Arizona, drills like this are taking place. Spotlight on America was invited to watch active shooter training at a rural Arizona school to allow officers a chance to practice in a classroom setting where a familiar SRO isn't on standby.
What it comes down to is that there just aren't enough officers. We only have a little over 300 school resource officers for roughly 2,700 K-12 schools in the state of Arizona. So that's a bit of a math problem.
Mike Kurtenbach is the Arizona Department of Education School Safety Director.
So it puts chiefs and sheriffs in a very difficult situation. They see the value of school resource officers, establishing partnerships, relationships, and being there in the event that a bad thing happens, but there aren't enough officers to go around.
To police or not to police schools has been a delicate question nationwide. A 2023 analysis of public schools found while SROs reduce some forms of violence, they do not prevent gun-related incidents and may increase the numbers of suspensions and arrests. In the wake of the death of George Floyd and national protests involving police, cities like Oakland, Rochester, New York, and Seattle all ended their SRO programs.
So you think it makes a difference to have a school resource officer in place at schools across the state versus not?
Well, I think it's critically important to have an officer on campus.
In June, a 17-year-old student was shot and killed at Seattle's Garfield High School that had an SRO until the program was canceled in 2020.
When you look at what happened at Garfield, how do you react to the fact that there's not a school resource officer there?
Disappointment, really, because I know from personal experience that school resource officers are so often able to interrupt things long before they happen.
Some states have come up with creative solutions to add school resource officers, from retention bonuses to hiring retirees and veterans. Legislation has also been introduced in Congress to provide funding for SROs, but so far, no bills have advanced. I'm Chris Daniels for Spotlight on America.